brave.
What is that?
There used to be this crazy woman in Georgetown called Sign Lady that had like a whole fucking slew of these things that would walk around and like scream at people, and supposedly she was actually loaded but had gone crazy, and that's how she could afford to be out on the street. And basically she had a home, but would just go out and yell at people. And one of my friends stole one of her signs. My name is Mikeal Elliott Broth. My current age is 25 years of age. I guess earlier memories of making art would be my mom was always really into encouraging me to draw and paint and just be creative when I was a little kid. I remember in elementary school, just always being good at art and making random weird stuff, and art teachers being confused by it, thinking it was bad because it was weird, I guess. I don't know. I guess the current style that I work in, I would describe as pen and ink drawings, somewhat cartoonish but adult themed or politically themed, kind of in almost a collage drawing style. Lots of animals having sex.
It seems like lately your more current work is a lot more politically themed. Can you talk about that and why?
Some of my current work is more political, I guess, because it's just easy to be inspired and to be angry and just frustrated, and it's really easy to find content. People feel like they live their, have control over their own lives, or control over, influence over the political system, and have the ability to make changes, but it's in most cases just an illusion, my opinion.
What are some of your creative influences, and why?
Creative influences, I feel like, at least stylistically, most of my influences come from graffiti, lettering, shapes and forms, and the way that letters flow together. That, I guess, I'd gotten into graffiti when I was like 16, and so that period of, pretty much an influential, like, formative period in most people's lives, I guess that that had a large influence on the way that, on what I look at for creative inspiration, or what inspires me. As far as artists go, a lot of, again, stylistically, I'd say influenced by a lot of, there's a crew called MSK, like AWR from LA. Say it's heavily influenced by the style of the way they form letters, and I don't know, I feel like it affects me. And one guy in particular, Hence from Atlanta. Other than that, I don't know. Mike Giant, definitely some other tattoo artists. Yeah. I'm looking around trying to figure out if there's, think of who else.
And you actually did graffiti at one point, right?
Yes.
And you got busted.
Yes.
When did you get busted? And do you want to talk about that for just a couple minutes?
Yeah, for a hot minute. I guess I'd gotten graffiti, like I said, when I was like 16, and kind of faded out for like a year or two there. Then like when I was 18, got kind of back into it. Then when I came down to school in Richmond, got more heavily into it, started trying to like make that the purpose of what I was doing, like traveling to do graffiti and whatnot. And then I guess, just got more into it, and eventually, got sloppy, got careless, got cocky, I don't know, whatever it was. Ended up getting busted for real in 2004, I think. April 2004. My artwork definitely changed completely while I was in jail. Before that, I'd been doing a lot of like screen print based work, or like work kind of based on the computer, a lot of like solid black and white stuff, things that kind of lend themselves to like high impact out on the street, just big bold things. And while I was in jail, it's so boring. There's nothing to do. So I would just draw constantly, and all I had was a pen and a piece of legal paper. So pretty much, just had a million things going on in my brain, and the style that I draw on now just kind of that kind of just came out then. I don't know exactly where it had been stashed away for years, but I guess that was just like the outlet it needed, and so yeah, totally changed the way that I was making art.
You've been shown in a lot of galleries around Richmond. How does that? Is that some kind of vindication, I guess, for you, or how does that make you feel to be to that level?
I guess going from that, having been arrested and like, I guess a fair amount of the community looking at you as like some scumbag vandal, to showing in galleries, it's kind of funny to me, because it's just like, part of this is because of the, people's negative reaction, of course, creates like an equal reaction within another part of the community. People who don't look at it in such a negative way, they see getting arrested, or or anybody's commitment and passion to what they're doing as something that's like exciting. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like showing in galleries. For totally different reasons than doing stuff on the street. It's fun to be able to like sit and like focus on a project and really develop it, rather than just going out and doing something like in a limited time or limited space that you have, which is certainly fun, and it's just different. But I feel like both are valid, and both are important.
Like when I was doing graffiti, like I'd spend time down here. Just a chill, quiet spot. Come down here at night, 6-pack or whatever, just drink, bring a sketchbook, draw. Come down here before work. I worked up at a tobacco company, it's pretty close. Come down here and drink before the shift. I don't know, it's just like a cool spot, like right on the river, the pipeline and the train tracks above. It's just like a good atmosphere to relax and be creative and just think about stuff.